Hi, it's Phil Turner from Timeform, picking out three bets for the TV racing at Newbury and Newcastle this weekend. And we'll start off in the big race, the Ladbrokes Trophy at 3 o'clock. Typically competitive betting heat, but it's a slightly different renewal than is often the case because the Ladbrokes Trophy, or the Hennessy and its previous guys, has got a long history of of being a preserve of sort of up and coming second season chasers, because it's placed in the racing calendar. It's often the first time those type of horses have run in this sort of company, and that's often the way to go. But it's relatively thin on those type of runners this time around, and as a result, I mean, you could argue that gives us more information to go on because it's more exposed horses. I think it might be worth just seeking a bit of value, a bit of each way value at sort of longer prices than the favourites. I'll just talk about a few of the favourites. Vindication and I Right, they come from the placed horses in the Charlie Hall, and obviously can see the case for both. Vindication's got bags of ability and a really winning attitude, and the stable's going really well. And I Right actually is one of the few second season chasers who's got an awful lot to like about him. There's a chance he's still sort of probably ahead of the handicapper as well, so I respect the chances of him. But I just thought it might be better going for a longer price option, and Secret Investor of Paul Nicholls. I think there's a chance this horse has been sort of a little bit forgotten about. Obviously, the yard were aiming top of the game at this until injury sort of intervened, and he's out for the season again. And there's a chance this horse has been forgotten about Secret Investor. He ticks many boxes here. He's got previous experience with the course. He jumped really well when runner up in the Denman Chase, the Native River last season. Now it's easy to pick holes in that form because they didn't go in end-to-end gallop, and a few of the ones in behind finished closer up than you might have expected. But the key point was that Secret Investor looked very much at home, trying to sort of mix things with Native River. I think it was only giving him £3 that day. He didn't look out of his depth in that company at all. He's had a breathing operation in the summer, and he's backed that up with a really good win at Chepstow, where he was both visually impressive, and there was a fair bit of substance to the form too, because both place horses have come out and run well since. I actually think he's ahead of his mark, even off 159, and he's around 11, 12 to 1, and I think that's the best value bet in a very tight heat, and I'd be going with him to sort of give Nicholls his first win in the race since the Great Denman back in 2009. So Secret Investor for me in the Ladbrokes Trophy. Moving over to Newcastle, another staying handicap chase, and again this is probably not quite as strong a race as it often is, more numerically really than quality. And I'm chancing Watmore again. We tipped him up on here a few weeks back when he ran in the Sodexo Gold Cup at Ascot, and it looked for much of that race that we were going to be in the money because he travelled by far the best horse at the weights. And although it might be slightly disconcerting, he didn't quite get the job done that day. The horse who beat him, Regal Encore, is a serious prospect round Ascot. He's got many sort of his best efforts are there, and if you sort of took him out of the race, he's pulled 13 lengths clear of the rest, including sort of a really sort of solid horse like Black Courtney, who was back and forth that day. And when you look at it like that, a £4 rise doesn't look insurmountable. And I think it's worth sort of keeping the faith of him. He's definitely got one of these type of races in him. And the favourite is Pym of Nicky Henderson's. Now, the last time these two horses met was at Huntingdon last autumn. There was only a head between them that day, and Watmore is £17 better off. Now, it's not quite as simple as that, because obviously both horses have done different things since then. Pym's actually won a few races, whereas Watmore's still to win again. But I just think he's so well handicapped, he's too hard to overlook at around 9 to 2, 5 to 1. So keep the faith with Watmore, and hopefully he'll reward us tomorrow. And then finally, probably my most confident selection of the three is the final race at Newbury, is the 2 mile handicap chase. And another horse who was narrowly tipped off at Ascot last time is Venetia Williams Iblio. You could argue he should be 4 from 4 of offences, because he won his first 2 starts, and he's really shaped like the best horse at the weights on the next 2. This isn't a particularly strong heat. I think there's further improvement in him. And if you think of his Ascot run, the horse which beat him that day was a race fit rival in Amula Gold, who's come out and franked the form since. I think he's very much the way to go in this race. I think he's around 11-4, and he's a confident selection for me. So Iblio to sort of maintain the strong form of the Venetia William Yards in the closer at Newbury. So just to recap, secret investor each way in the Ladbrokes Trophy, Watmore in the rehearsal chase at Newcastle, and the most confident of the three, Iblio, in the final race at Newbury. Best of luck.